provide unmanned systems. We're here at the AUVSI show in Houston. I'm here talking with Art Stout of Teledyne FLIR today. Thank you, Art, so much for taking the time to stop by.
Thank you.
In a busy show, appreciate it. So yeah, can you talk a little bit about what you're highlighting here at the show this year?
So this week we've been bringing to the show our imaging sensors. These are thermal imaging cores. We have high performance, highly sensitive cooled cores, and then we have obviously our boson small microbolometer uncooled camera cores. And we are now expanding into image signal processing and AI on embedded platforms such as the Qualcomm Dragon Wing series processors. So we're able to extend the imaging and offer advanced image processing and decision support around our AI and target tracking software.
All right, very good, very good. So can you talk a bit about, what is the main problem your technology is solving, and what is it making possible for your customers?
Well, from a thermal, strictly from an imaging point of view, obviously low light or nighttime operations, particularly in the UAS space, obviously the ability to add nighttime capabilities to drones is a big demand.
Absolutely.
If we get into things like loitering munitions and more weaponized platforms, the ability to create ATR and targeting software where thermal imaging is the input, that's also a big part of that. There's also a new field for visual navigation. So visual navigation is a technology that uses machine learning algorithms in combination with an IMU to provide the ability to know your location in GPS-denied environments. So that's also another growth vector for thermal imaging that we're servicing as well.
Absolutely, very, very good. So I guess, when talking about, autonomy and unmanned, what are the biggest challenges you see ahead, and how are you kind of preparing for that?
So I think from an autonomy perspective, our opportunity is more in the targeting side, where the thermal imager provides the input into algorithms that allow us to detect, track, and then obviously engage with these targets on all the various kinds of platforms across the scale or the size of the weapon, from simple mortar rounds all the way up to very large cruise missiles and things like that. So in addition to that, we've added an autonomy or a flight management software that sits between the perception software and, let's say, the autopilot, that allows the platform to change its behavior based on a script that might be fed into the platform, that based on what it observes while it's operating autonomously can change its priorities. So it's like, loiter, if this then do that kind of capability, and be able to do that in a scripted but then operate autonomously, because of, in contested environments there's no RF, there's no GPS. So adding that layer of intelligence to devices is an important capability as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, where do you see in the future, kind of looking ahead, where do you see the biggest opportunities for growth in the next year or two?
I think it comes down to a couple of areas. Perception in general, so adding intelligence to all these various platforms. The GPS denied or visual navigation is perhaps one of the largest areas that we see.
Sure.
Only because, regardless of whether it's a loitering munition or whether it's a surveillance drone, the need for navigation and the need to know your location is something that's common across almost every platform. And so doing that in a GPS denied environment is a critical capability. And then getting into all these loitering munitions where, giving the intelligence and the autonomy to engage with targets without being an FPV, taking a man out of the loop and providing very precise models so that, they perform very well against very specific targets. So intelligence is really a critical part of our focus.
Very good, very good. So I guess for anyone that you're talking with at the show this week or watching this video, what's the main takeaway you'd want them to go away with about your technology and what you guys do?
I think there's a bit of convergence in terms of what's happening on sensors and what's happening on algorithms, and then obviously, you know, the intelligence to run on device. So, platform companies such as NVIDIA and now Qualcomm, you know, are bringing a level of compute on embedded platforms that was unheard of just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I mean, this device right here has the ability to do 50 trillion operations per second. So you can run a very complex software stack at very, very low power. This, running our most sophisticated software stack, is consuming around 2.5 watts. That, you know, there's an aspect of that that goes towards extending flight duration because of battery life. But for most of the people that are here at the show and are developing systems, it's more about the thermal management problem than it is about the power consumption per se. So making it easier and more reliable to deal with the thermal management issues of having all this capability running on embedded processors is a big advance.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. I know these shows are busy, so thank you for taking the time to sit down and chat. For more from the show, please visit InsideUnmannedSystems.com.